What's going on, everybody? A Delicious Mango here, back again with another YouTube video. I hope you're all having a great day so far, and it's almost here. We're just one day away from finally being able to play Season 7. I'm going to be going live on my Twitch tomorrow night on Wednesday, November 4th, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. That's when the update goes live for me. I will be updating and playing it live on Twitch immediately, so if you want to see gameplay as soon as it comes out, literally the second it comes out, we're going to be live going through everything. Really looking forward to Horizon, but most importantly, I'm looking forward to this new map. And in this video today, we're going to talk a little bit about what we can expect to see and what we might be looking forward to the most as far as what's on this map. You know, what cool things are we going to be able to play with? Where are our landing spots? Let's go find out right now. Very first spot that Apex is showing us right now is the Velvet Oasis, twin luxurious apartments that offer mid to long range engagements across its sleek landscape. We can check the picture here. It looks pretty nice. It looks like it's going to be loot. You can go up in these buildings, they do say later on, and there's an underneath part, the Oasis Cafe. It's going to be looking like a lot of fights between the buildings, maybe fights inside on the bottom. And apparently the only way out of the cafe down the bottom is through zipline. So it's going to seem like there's going to be some good loot, but it might be hard to get out. So it'll be interesting to see what kind of fights go down in there. Arcadia Super Carrier, a massive vessel last seen leaving the planet Talos. It assisted Olympus with transportation of arms, vehicles, scientific equipment, and personnel. So this is what we've been fighting around on World's Edge, and we're finally going to get to actually go inside it. You can see it's docked sideways now. It's no longer launching vertically. Looks like a close quarters combat place. Caustic, Wattson, Rampart, and they're gonna enjoy their time in here. And it's a choke for players that are leaving to and from docks. And we can see here docks, an open industrial pier where ships can refuel and cargo is transferred to and from Olympus. This is the dirty part. This is where all the dirty work happens. You can see the streets are dirty, not nearly as clean and put together as the rest of Olympus, but it looks really interesting nonetheless. It reminds me of kind of that area near Rig, right south of Rig, north of Swamps, with that kind of verticality. It looks like it could be interesting. Long-range combat dominates this area. Again, we don't have any sense of scale really yet. We don't know how big they're saying large range or long-range combat is, but we do know there's vehicles in here, so I'm expecting this to be a decently sized map. So when they say long range, I'm expecting some really open spaces here. Primary power grid. To power such a large attraction requires a big effort. Power grid is split into two halves, primary and secondary. So this is places that we've been seeing in some of the trailers, like Horizon throwing down her tactical and she's floating up on top of these buildings here. And it looks like there's a lot going on here. Lots of small buildings, lots of places to duck in and out of. There's truck-looking things. You can see like smaller buildings, two-story buildings, even a three-story building. I'm sure Pathfinder teams are going to be able to get on top of that billboard back there, and you can run along all those wires and all that. It says primary is the focus where most of the loot resides, while secondary, a smaller area, serves as a safer place to land away from the chaos. And these two places are dense, as we can see from the picture. A lot of buildings in here, a lot of things to hide in. Looks like if a final circle ends there, a lot of teams could be alive. Rift Aftermath. Now this place looks really cool. This looks like out of a sci-fi movie or something. You can see the portal in the middle. You've seen maybe some early playtesters, if you guys got to see some of their gameplay. This portal actually takes you out of this area to Hammond Labs. It looks like there's a lot of empty space in the middle and lots of buildings on the outside. So it seems like a place where you're going to land on the outsides and loot up and then maybe head towards the middle. And this apparently is the largest POI in Olympus. You can see down the text down the bottom there. There's going to be a lot of squads in this area, I'm sure. Tons of buildings, tons of places to loot. I can imagine that this is going to be a hotly contested spot right when the season comes out, because everyone wants to go through this portal because it looks amazing. Central Turbine. Within the mountain facade lies this imposing circular location that houses spinning fans above and below. This looks like kind of a smaller POI. Yeah, it says, while this loot is plentiful, the POI can be accessed from many directions at once, making this a tough nexus to defend. This looks like a spot where, almost like the pit. This kind of gives me some pit vibes. Kind of vertical, but not a lot of verticality as far as where you can stand. There's kind of like a small circular area. Probably can be good loot in here, I'm sure. But this looks like a choke point, honestly. Looks like a choke point that you're going to have to navigate through. Autumn Estates. Far from the greasy industrial clutter lies this idyllic property where those needing rest and relaxation can escape to. So now we're getting to some of the really pretty parts of the map. I mean, we're seeing here there's tons of small buildings. There's a tree in the middle. This looks really cool. Looks like lots of snipers could hang out on the outside too. You saw that bridge over on the top and that big structure on the right, if you can get up there. This is one of the smallest POIs in the game. This dense neighborhood boasts a mix of all kinds of intense combat. If you're looking to run in there with a Mastiff, this spot is for you. I'll tell you what. Look at all these small buildings in here. It looks like so many rotations are going to be made. Caustics are going to have a field day in this spot. I think this is going to be a really, really fun landing spot. If you want to land somewhere and just get right into some hectic action, I think this is the spot for you. Hammond Labs, a stylistic, pristine building that sits in the center of a large open landscape. Waterfalls crest the peak of their overwatch where the research basin resides. Enter cautiously to find out what Hammond was researching within. Okay, a little bit of lore there, a little bit of interesting stuff going on here. Yeah, you can see it's just one building. It looks like there's a lot of high areas around it so people can see in. It does say nowhere is truly safe as high overlooks focus inward towards the main central lab. So if you're going to be in there, you're going to have to find a way out. I mean, it looks like a lot of people can look down on you from other locations. You can see some bins to the side, but I think most of the loot is going to be actually inside that building. Energy Depot, slick, clean, with function over form. This industrial housing stores and charges hundreds of batteries that are then used to power many of the assets seen through Olympus. This has a cool aesthetic to it. I like it a lot. It looks like a big hangar type area. You can see there are some buildings, lots of bins. It looks like a more open. It's a building, but it's very open on the inside. I think it's going to be really interesting to have a lot of fun fights are going to go down in there. There are maintenance tunnels too that run underneath this top layer, giving access to frightening views of the clouds below. That's kind of fun. There are plenty of pitfalls surrounding this open structure, which is interesting. So you can actually fall down into different areas or maybe off the map entirely. We're yet to see, but very interesting spot. I'm going to be looking forward to landing there. Now the Golden Gardens, we got to see this in the trailer. This is where Mirage landed in that little Season 7 announcement trailer. Retreat and experience privacy amongst multiple living spaces within this rich, luxurious environment. Now this looks pretty. I mean, you see all the stuff out there, all the colors, the grass and the plants and all that. This looks like an amazing landing spot. This is going to be one of the prettiest spots. I bet you're going to see a lot of thumbnails of this spot here. Golden Gardens offers layered gameplay with buildings stacked on top of one another for unique tactical combat. Many of these buildings have no doors but open entrances. Okay, so that's interesting. So there's no doors in these buildings, so you can't really camp it out because you're just going to get grenades thrown in and all that. So that's pretty interesting. I haven't seen a lot of buildings with just straight up no doors. Expect mid to long range skirmishes between each compound with close quarters dominating the interconnected tunnels. Grow Tower, slowly rotating sniper purchase of Doom ×3. So these are towers that actually rotate around in circles that you can get in. You can see there's some bins inside and they rotate. So it seems like an interesting spot if you want to hold a large area, but there might not be a lot of cover up there. So you might want to hang towards the center, I guess. Yeah, down there in the text it does say you might want to hang towards the center. Otherwise, you're going to get shot by a lot of people. But it looks like kind of like a high-risk, high-reward structure where you're going to be able to snipe a lot of people. If you're one of those triple-take warriors, these spots are going to be for you. Orbital Cannon Test Site. Tucked far away from most of Olympus, surrounded by large, unbreachable walls, lies this slick military testing site. A large orbital cannon serves as the focal point for this zone, surrounded by open-air facilities. So you can see here, this is the cannon that shot Pathfinder as he was flying in. This is a drop that's far from the center of Olympus, but dense with loot. Okay, so kind of like looks almost like Repulsor did, or maybe like Skyhook. There's plenty of space for people to fight outside, but plenty of buildings to fight inside as well and hold down. This looks like a good landing spot. This looks like a very balanced landing spot. There's going to be lots of loot, open spaces and closed spaces. There's bins plenty. You can see this. I think this is going to be a really popular landing spot. Solar array. Olympus requires a lot of power, and this sector serves as one of many to keep this gravity-defying city afloat. The dense solar-powered sector acts both a choke point and a POI. This looks really small. I mean, this looks like there's 3 levels. There's a top level, there's a level outside, and then there's a level underneath. Looks like you can get inside. This looks small. This is the southern side of the map. Yeah, there it is. Smaller industrial area is just as dense as power grid. So this is going to be a very small portion of the map, but I think a lot of fun fights could happen here. Pathfinders might enjoy going from top to bottom really quickly on this part. The crown jewel of Olympus, this spacious downtown is home to restaurants, cherry blossom gardens, and the well-known Reverie Lounge. I might sound dumb saying that, but doing my best there. But this looks really pretty too. This looks almost as pretty as that other location we talked about. It looks like those buildings are going to be key. If you can get those main buildings, you're going to be in a lot better spot than some other people that are stuck on the outside. Well, there's 2 different pictures. Oh yeah, you can see the inside from the buildings. Okay, so the buildings do have like kind of open air patio things, so Pathfinder's going to be zipline up into them from the top. That's a good addition. I do like that. with stark verticality throughout. Yep, you're going to want to drop and hold the Reverie Lounge, which looks over most of Bonsai Plaza. Yep, so it looks like the buildings are what's key here. Hydroponics. Within these sprawling agricultural grounds, rounded top buildings and iconic silos are arranged throughout. The curved farmlands and algae green pools add to its uniqueness. This does look really cool. I do like this spot. Looks like a few small buildings. Really, there's only 3 places to really hide out. Looks like a lot of open spaces here. I wonder how walkable those walls are. The walls that slope up. I bet you can walk up part of it, but eventually it'll get too steep, is what I'm guessing. But could be interesting to see what you can play on those. Can you get on top of those too? Do they have a layer up top? Pathfinders might really enjoy this map the more we look at it. With a large number of high-tier buildings and wide open approach to design, multiple squads can be supported here. It does look like it with these 2 different buildings. It's very wide. It's a very spread out POI. And finally, Elysium. I hope I'm saying all these words right. Small, intimate, and very close quarters. This is a small POI focused on skirmishes. And this does look small. This looks like one building with one central structure, a few doors, an open space. This looks like, yep, here it is. You'll probably want to carry a shotgun or SMG to deal with aggressive rushers throughout. If you're trying to get in a shotgun battle, or if you're going to find yourself near here, you're going to want a close range weapon, because this looks like a small area with not a lot of space to run. You're going to have to win your fight if you get here, but it looks like it's going to be a ton of fun going down here. And then finally at the bottom it says, Olympus houses many challenges and playstyles for very different experience than you're used to. The Phase Runner and Trident are exciting new tools to traverse each zone. From the seedy underbelly of Energy Depot to the glistening Bonsai Plaza, Olympus will give you new experiences, new environments, and new ways to test your skills. The city awaits. See you soon. Guys, I am so excited. After seeing this map, it looks beautiful. I'm really excited to see how it plays. There's no season I've ever been as excited for as this one. Season 7, there's a lot of hype around it, and I'm definitely on that hype train. I am all on the bandwagon. I think Season 7 might be the best season yet, but let me know what you guys think down in the comments down below. If you got this far, thank you so much for watching. Please do consider hitting that subscribe button. We make these YouTube videos every single day, and of course we get our gameplays over on twitch.tv/adeliciousmangoyt. If you want to see me play live over there, you can go over there. Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate it, and I'll catch you in the next one. Later!